Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I am Loba, and this is the Gist with Loba, and here we do reviews and commentaries on reality TV shows and movies. And today, I'll be doing the review of the Real Housewives of Abuja season 1, episode 1. So this show is new and it's coming new to Showmax, and it's actually very wonderful watch. So let us just get started. So as we all know how the Real Housewives franchise is always like. So for this season, we had Princess, we have OJ Posharella, we had Arafat, we had Tutupie, we have Samantha. So it's six ladies that are on the show. And it's actually wonderful to see these six women on the show because they actually brought different dynamics, different personalities to this show, and it's a wonderful watch. So the very first person we were introduced to was Arafat. Well, oh no, sorry, the first person we were introduced to was Tutubai. But before that, they had the tagline, and I'll really tell you about the tagline. So for Arafat, she said she's art and what again, and she'll not be apologizing. She won't apologize for being a masterpiece. So with this, I think we have the insight that this woman will be very artistic with her life, like probably her outfit, events she'll be kind of doing on the show, and it's actually a very wonderful one to see. Then for Tutu Pie, I don't even really get what she was saying, but we had OJ Posharella, and OJ Posharella just give me this vibe that okay, she will really be drama and she will still be vibe on the show. Aside that, we also had Princess, and she was also talking about being the life of the party, and she always be like the everything will always happen around her. But if you know, like you believe that everything will happen around you, why do you still have to go around with your mother? And seeing Princess on this show gives me kind of vibe from Laura from Real Housewives of Lagos, and also Nonko from Real Housewives of Dublin, who will always come to events with our mother. So we don't know how things will actually turn up or be at the end of this event of this season, but I think it will be a really good watch for us because yes, the women are giving, and the show is actually a very wonderful one. So we have Comfort too, and Comfort have this kind of vibe that I don't know if I'll say she's unique. She's very different from every other woman on the show, and she said she will be probably an unconventional person because she said she's a rebel and she will not really do like she will not always do what you should expect her to do, something like that. Okay, that she live on her own rule. You get. Then for Samantha, she said she doesn't follow the wave, that she kind of, I don't know. Okay, she said, I don't flow, I don't move with the flow, I create my wave. Yeah, so that's that for the tagline. So the very first person we were introduced to, and as we all know, like it's like the very first episode. So we were introduced to the women on the show and get to know them. And one thing that makes this Abuja franchise different from the ones we've seen, or like the very first one we had here in Nigeria, that's Lagos, was the fact that the women on the show are actually people we don't know. So there's no expectation. There's no, oh, I've always seen this person. Okay, this is what I expect from this person, and this is what I'm getting. Like we had for Laura, where we all saw Laura as an Instagram influencer, was very, very vibrant. But coming to see her on the show, she was not really giving the Instagram person we were seeing. But for these women, they are just, we don't really, they have social media presence, but not as what, just not to be compared to what we had for the Lagos. Tutupai was the very first person we were introduced to, and Tutupai talks about how she has been single and she has always gone for a date. Like she, but there's one thing I think Tutupai is looking for, a man that will fit her father and not a man she really see fit for herself, because she was always talking about the person must add this must actually fit the box for her father too and the rest. And but she's single and she's a chef and she's doing well there in Abuja. Yes, she has like a lot to doing, and I'm so sure she's rich. Yes, so the second person we introduced to was Samantha. Samantha had three kids, a triplet, and also a child before the triplet. And she also talked about how people do not believe she really had these children by herself. She said people always, a lot of people think it was like true surrogacy. She had the kids. Then after that, we introduced to Princess Jecoco. So I feel Princess is the drama of this show. You know the way we had Laura for the Lagos franchise, and Laura was just the drama, yeah. But I feel like Princess is just that same person, but ours is like a bit different because she's the drama, but she's still vibrant and she's not just like quiet and lets people push her around. And Princess actually have this wonderful relationship with her mother, and like the mother is always around her, and she shared a lot with her mother. So, and for me, I feel like for her to have been casted um as one of the cast on this show, she must have seen other franchise. And I feel if she had seen it, I think she should have seen how things played out with a cast like Nonku was always at event or at events with her mother, and how things not really go with the cycle, because this cycle of women and you having your mother in that circle, to an extent there will be disrespect and the rest to her, or even if it's not disrespect, there are some things these people in this cycle will do to you that you will not really take as something bad, but if they do it to your mother, you will not really be kind of okay with it. So I feel she should have just probably, even if she will allow her mother to be part of the show, it should be parts that will not involve other ladies of the show. But it's just a life and it's a reality, and it's wonderful we are seeing that. So after we introduced to Princess, we saw Arafat. So Arafat said she had a Tanzanian and a Nigerian kind of she's both a Nigerian and a Tanzanian. Then there was this part where Tutupie and Arafat met. So during this meeting, Tutupie talked about this Samantha event. So Samantha, we already introduced to Samantha earlier, and Samantha actually had this event which she called a mystery ball or something, which she'll be hosting. So I think Samantha will be the very first part of these women on the show that will be hosting an event. So so after that, we were introduced to Arafat, and Arafat is a pole dancer. She has a business, and she's doing during Arafat and Tutupai they met. I think they went out to literally eat and have a good time. So during their meeting, Arafat was like, "Oh, they talk about Tutupai's dating life, and Tutupai talk about how she just wants someone who will really fit into what her father wants and what she wants, and she has been going on a lot of dates just to see someone she really wants." Then Tutupai invited. Okay, so for Samantha's event, Samantha invited Tutupai, one of the women on the show. So then she also invited OJ Posharella, one of the women on the show, and OJ will be the host of the event which Samantha was hosting. So Tutupai extended her invite to Arafat. And now this event that she hosted is something that none of them actually know the host of the event. So they were like, okay, I think actually gave them this curiosity that who is hosting this event. They really wanted to know who is hosting the event. So because Tutupai don't know who is hosting the event, she had to extend her invite to Arafat, so Arafat will come with her. So after this, we were introduced to OJ Posharella. So OJ, I just feel like OJ had vibe. She has this energy. She sings. She's single, and she sings and she do all of that. She's also a business to comfort, and she talked about being a lawyer, and also so we have two lawyers on the show. We have Comfort and also have Princess. Princess is giving me this aggressive woman vibe. Why for Comfort? She's calm. She has depth. Yeah, I'll say it that way. She has depth. So, Arafat and Comfort met at Arafat pole. So they talk about pole dancing. Okay, I forgot to actually tell you guys about this. So Arafat and Tupai during their meet, they talked about pole dancing and how she has been using pole dancing to help women. Yeah, so and how it's different from stripping, and yeah, because she's like many people are always associating pole dancing with stripping. So when Comfort and Arafat met, they also talk about this, and Arafat invited what's the name? Arafat invited Comfort to a party she was invited to. A plus one going with a plus one. Can't say how funny it is. So I think no, no, I think Comfort agreed to attend this event, and it was wonderful to see that okay, all the women on the show will be having their very first meet at Samantha's party. So they went for the event, and Samantha and OJ Posharella was like the host for the event. So and the ladies had to wait hours for Samantha to come, which I feel like was very, very bad. And I think they were hungry and the rest. So when Samantha eventually came for the event, we had this person who self. Okay, so the only issue they had at the event was Princess demanding that her mother gets served a food before they pray which I feel I see it as very disrespectful. It's not your event, so let her do her thing the way she wants it. Yes, it's not your event to an extent, and probably if you really need food, I'm so sure you're rich. You're not like she's rich, so you just leave the party and go and get yourself food. Yeah, I feel she should have not been that demanding. So actually, they actually let it be. And in Samantha's confessional, she was like, "Oh, Laura had already gotten a point, and she's in zero. So I guess there's a like there'll be a return for what she had done." So that was that for the very first episode. We were introduced to all the women on the show, and the only issue they had was the events which Samantha hosted, and she came late. Thing you need to know is that, so while they were showing like next time on the show, we actually saw a snippet of this controversial woman, Jaruma. So she's on the show, but not as part of the cast. I guess probably like one of the cast of the show invited her for one of the events, and she was part. So we're looking forward to more episodes and more drama. Yes, it is what it is. Bye. Where do you start it?
Yeah,
You're
what's up?
full.
Welcome to the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video.